Alright, part two. As I said, we are back. Let's get straight into it. So we can see here. Let me get my bearings straight. Alright, we can see here AUD USD has so far moved to the POIs that we were after. So we have swept this extreme liquidity of the much more local accumulation schematic. The liquidity here has been swept. We still do have this extreme demand, which I would like for it to be mitigated before I decide to take a long, if I decide to. Now, bear in mind, we've got some supply created as well in the meantime. Which I would like to be mitigated as well. Ideally, I'd like to see something like this. Move up, mitigate this supply, slowly come back down. We've already swept extreme liquidity. We grab demand or mitigate demand, and then we push up. That would be optimal, the optimal scenario, but as always, you can never be too sure, but you have to prepare for as many outcomes as possible. But that's all I got so far for AUD. I'd like to see the supply get mitigated beforehand. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in any type of longs at the moment. So far, we have also SFP this market structure high. But it looks like we might break structure to the upside. But hopefully we can just break structure so we can mitigate the supply and then come back down. However, if I do get a clean mitigation then a break structure, I'm just going to enter, and I will be very cautious on this supply area. Alright, that is AUD USD for now. USD CAD. Not much is going on here. Yeah, we did mention this in the part one. Kind of just have to wait and see what price decides to do. And then contextually speaking, contextually speaking, we are looking to these lows look to get taken out. And I would like to see them get taken out. I mean, yeah, contextually speaking, I would like to see this very high time frame distribution model complete itself. Given that this accumulation model is semi-counter context. Technically speaking, this is extreme liquidity. So we will wait and see what happens. Some very nice lows, which I would like to. I'd like to think that these are all going to get taken out. Bang, bang, bang. These should get swept, but we will see what happens. Yeah, as of now for USD CAD, nothing else really interests me. Obviously, Asia highs are intact. Asia lows have been taken. Let's look at our volume area profile. Yeah, we can see quite an evident range inefficiency here. And we've also swept our volume. We've also swept our volume area high, which can indicate a return back to our volume area low and potentially sweep this liquidity, followed by a reversal up to take out these Asia highs. So we'll see what happens there. However, is there demand here? There is. It's not clean though. That's the only thing I don't like, is that it's not clean. Yeah, it's technically been mitigated on a lower time frame, as you can see here. Um, that's fine, but yeah, this has been mitigated on a lower time frame. See if there's anything else in here. There could be some very low time frame structure demand, some overlapping structure, but just the way these weeks are shaped, I don't think there will be. Yeah, that's been mitigated. Let's look on the 1 minute. Technically, this is all we have. And this is valid, so yeah, we do borderline have some fairly refined structure demand in here. Which is pretty much showcasing this whole structure demand below it. So price may not have to, for the average retail trader, price may think that it's going to front run this demand because they'll just have this demand charted up. If they have that, then price can do something like this. Well, not quite like that. Like like this. And then on their chart, they won't have this refined area, and they'll just have this, and they'll be like, "Oh no, what's happened? How come prices front ran my demand?" But it never front ran it. It had this more refined area which it mitigated beforehand, which the average guy does not see, or woman. So very important to have these refined blocks on here, especially when you have clear structural demand below. There may sometimes be a more refined area above, showcasing where the exact true inefficiency on the chart lies, which is here in this instance. So that has been marked out. I'm going to exit replay mode so I can have my alert on it. And that is over here. Yeah, as of now, I'll wait and see what happens. As I said, I would like these lows to get taken out. All right, next, GJ. This is kind of looking interesting. Kind of. Yeah, we are definitely approaching an area of quite a bit of supply in here. Bear with me, I think my chart has frozen, which is not ideal. This can definitely be a valid potential distribution range for me. Obviously, yeah, this low has swept the previous two. It would have been nice if it was the other way around, this low being the lowest and having some form of equal lows created, but that's not the case. Regardless, I will allow this as a potential ranging formation. Supply is there, that's fine. Yeah, and technically speaking, I can even go one step further and have this as a even more refined potential distribution model. Much more lower time frame, of course, but we have our Asia low there, which has not yet been taken out. And yeah, you can already see off the bat like beautiful return to zone for me, even from like here. Like this is very nice. Look at that. You can't tell me that is not pleasing to look at. So we'll wait and see what happens in here. I'll put my alert there. Yeah, no real clear supply other than that this small refinery, which also seems to be mitigated on a much lower time frame. Yeah, everything here does seem to be mitigated. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what price decides to do. Our lows have been set with this pair, so we can just wait and see. But yeah, like, it would have been nice if this. Yeah, it's really hard to gauge. Like, ideally, you would like tap 2 to form before this gets created. So ideally, you wouldn't want this to be created here. It's just a bit of an awkward position. But if it gets created at the end of the day. So wait and see what happens. But in the meantime, let's see AUD USD entering our rectangle, which we did mark out earlier. And this is just beautiful. This is exactly what I had wanted to see. This is perfect, but we haven't entered obviously, and we won't be entering until we get a mitigation of this demand. given price has done this, this was our break of structure. But yeah, now I would like to see it respect this supply area. Otherwise, if it doesn't respect it and continues to go up, then that could have just been an entry which we missed. All price would have done was just sweep the extreme liquidity, front run extreme demand, and reverse to the upside, which is it's a possibility. Price isn't going to always do exactly what you would like it to do, but you just have to adapt based on each outcome. Yeah, and the one thing I also don't do like about it mitigating demand is it is closer to this first tap. As you can see, this have been our tap 3, or is this our tap 3? It's still quite a deviation to above our tap 1, which we don't really like. But like as I said, at the end of the day, if it was there, it's there, and we may have missed this opportunity, but yeah, it would have probably entered here. You put your stops here, like a 5 RR, but what? Yeah, and then you also do have to keep in mind that you are already in a higher time frame accumulation range. Yeah, this one's an interesting one. This can be some form of structured one, but it's just very messy and not clean whatsoever. Yeah, I feel like in hindsight, like just looking at this, from a risk management point of view, not entering is the best thing to do. Because at the end of the day, if there's something that might go against you, then why would you enter? But from a entry point of view, if you can call it that, you can always enter and then just simply see what price does, and then if you can see signs of weakness, then you can de-risk immediately. But yeah, I'm happy not entering. Even, you know what, if this plays out, I'm happy not entering because I did have this demand mapped out below. But yeah, it does look like price wants to not respect this supply for the time being. And theoretically speaking, this demand can also be part of the accumulation model. Therefore, price doesn't actually have to go back down. Yeah, like what I'm trying to do now is kind of look for a possible re-entry opportunity, but nothing's presenting itself because had this have been a cleaner demand POI, then yeah, this would have been a nice re-entry opportunity, but it isn't. It's just, this looks terrible. You got a blue and a black candle, and you got an inside bar candle here, and then you've got 2 bullish candles followed. So it's it's not clean. It is not clean. The only other thing I can look at is entering based on this higher time frame model, which is still applicable, as I said. And how would I enter for this one? What I would do is see the highest time frame that this is valid on. This is valid 15 minutes. So if we can break this on the 15 minute, then I might look for a potential entry of the higher time frame model. Which would look something like this. For anyone asking, you'd enter on this market structure high break. You would put your stops underneath there. I'm going for a 3.86, but yeah, it's a higher time frame model, but the risk reward just isn't it. It's just not it, and therefore I will look for a much more refined entry opportunity. If you did watch my part 1 explanation on this, like this had potential of 18 to 19 RR, and now from entering on the 15 minute, you're looking at a 3.86 R, which is a lot less than 18 or 19 RR. So definitely a lot more opportunity to look for a more refined entry as opposed to just entering off this 15 minute BOS. Yeah, but so far it's just not showing any re-entry opportunities. So I think I'm just going to monitor this for now and be patient. And the thing that also makes it look like it might not come back to this demand is just how beautifully it swept extreme liquidity. Like it did very, very well. Swept it very nicely. Yeah, will be interesting to see what happens here. We did GJ, I think we were up to GBP NZD, yes. GBP NZD, let's have a look. We can delete that. Yeah, this could be a potential short as we are in an already confirmed distribution model. Yeah, I like this. Let's see what we may have missed this, but we'll find out. Well, from what I'm seeing now, there's no real supply POI. It's probably just this, which looks like it would have been extreme liquidity. Yeah. This would have been extreme liquidity, which just swept. However, it is to know, guys, pay close attention here. This candle here has got no wick. This bullish candle has no wick whatsoever, making me think the price is going to come back to create a wick and sweep this wickless high. Yes, extreme liquidity has been taken. That's fine, but I just we have supply here as well. On the 3 minute. That's been mitigated, that's fine. Meaning we are left with this 3 minute OBIF. But yeah, prices get from a timing perspective and time displacement perspective, price is going to have to start slowly moving back up, which just from the way it's moving now, it might not. So that may have simply been the distribution model confirmed. We've obviously swept all these highs. From a re-entry perspective, it would be this, which is very valid. So if we can do something like this, that would also be nice. But as of now, we'll just have to wait and see what this price action does. All right, Euro GBP. We can see these lows we marked out last time we analyzed this pair have been taken out as expected, which is good to see. And have a look at this very refined demand I had mapped out, wicks to perfection. You will not get better TA than these guys. You probably will, because I'm still not an expert yet, so there is still a lot of room to improve on. But this is very, very good TA. Seeing price perfectly weak right here. But in terms of context, we're kind of in this accumulation model. So you can technically speaking look for longs, but you're also near EQ, which is a bit of a sketchy area. And price is also not giving us much at the moment. We have front ran this high. Yeah, timing wise, tap 2 and 3 are quite a bit further than tap 1 and 2. I did see the AUD USD alert. We'll check that a bit later. Yeah, we've taken Asia high and low, and not really liquidity points here, so I'm not really too interested in this pair at the moment. I'm going to wait for now. Also, this is, may as well pretty much did show you guys, but this is the a goal. Oh, you can't see. Looks like you can't see my background. But pretty much my computer background says my goal is start with $1,000 account balance. Use that to get a prop account. That's going to cost me $500. That will give me 100k in prop and funds. Then given I pass it, that is 10% week 1 and 2, then 5% profit week 3, totaling of 15% all up, 5% each week. Then the 4th week would be 5% of 100k, then you get the 80-20 split, and that will equal 4k profit from the prop firm account. Then you pretty much rinse and repeat, 500 again, 100k prop firm account. Then you go 200k total, because that you're trading with 2 accounts by then, and then if you do the same thing, 5% a week, that would equal 10k. And then you split that 80-20 with the firm, that is 8k net profit. You do that across 20 weeks, 8 times 20, that equals 160k in 24 weeks, and that is 160k in funds at 5% a week. And yeah, do that compounding, you can get to 424,000 pretty quick. If you do that, if you trade that for another 20 weeks at 5%, so that's what you would pretty much get close towards the end of the year, and that is my goal, and that is what I will set out to achieve. Watch this space. This can happen and will happen. Just with time, consistent effort, consistent application. But yeah, that's the goal in simple terms. Buy a prop account, $500. That'll give me 100k. Pass it. Take me 3 weeks at 5% a week. That will give me 15% across 3 weeks. Then by the 4th week, I can take my profits, assuming there's an 80-20 split, of course, which will give me 4k net profit from the account. Rinse and repeat again. Get another account. Trading the 2 accounts at the same time. That will give me 2 100k accounts, meaning 200k total. 5% a week. Obviously, we've discussed that, and that will give me 10k all up, 8k assuming the 80-20 profit split, do that across 24 weeks, or do that across 20 weeks, and that will give me 160k. And then if I continue to compound that at 5% weekly, that 160k, I can reach 424,000 by the end of the year, which is crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy amount, but it's a very doable at the end of the day. So yeah, this whole process will be live on the tube. But yeah, back to this Euro GBP. Nothing interests me at the moment. It was BTC. I know this is Forex, but and there you go. We have front ran these demands, and we have mitigated this supply. But yeah, back to Euro GBP. Nothing really interesting me at the moment. Really nothing. There might be some supply in there. Yeah, nothing there. Euro NZD. Where are we contextually speaking? Okay, we're in massive, range premium. We had this little distribution model formed. Even their distribution model, which was created in after hours, not something that you see often, but it has happened. Same thing at the moment for this pair. I'm not really looking for anything. Price is in an awkward spot. That's all been mitigated. Yeah, I kind of wait and see what price does. Not interested in anything there at the moment. USD Swiss franc. This is now invalid. We'll see what happens with price mitigating this or entering this demand. Yeah, this has been mitigated as well. So yeah, wait and see what price decides to do. In terms of our POIs up here, what did we have? Yeah, so we pretty much had this on the 30. And then in terms of extreme liquidity, it's kind of awkward because technically it's this. Yeah, going off a higher time frame. Yeah, this kind of has to be the extreme liquidity. It's very messy, but it's the only applicable one. So we'll wait and see what price does there. USD JPY, we have exceeded. That's been mitigated. And we do have this weekly OBIF. Just.
You still listening, gentlemen?
Just. Yeah, if this is a third tap, then I would like to see it pretty quickly, or like pretty much as of now, start coming back within the range. Otherwise, this range will be invalidated fairly quick. But yeah, I'm just monitoring this to see what happens for now. Supply has been mitigated. And then this, we never got confirmation. So this is all invalidated. And this might be some form of ranging environment. But you have to wait and see. So yeah, AUD CAD not giving me anything at the moment. NZ CAD ran through this demand. And same thing. So that is it for today, guys. That is it for today. I will quickly check back on our boy AUD USD. It has broken structure. Technically, it's broken 15-minute market structure. But I would like to see some form of pullback in here for a potential entry. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother with a 3RR for that high time frame of range. It's just too risky. Like, price can always come back down. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll monitor this closely, see if I can potentially get a re-entry, some form of refined entry. But there's no real POI to enter off, which is annoying, outside of this demand. So that means price is going to have to come all the way back down. And to anyone that did enter off here, they're going to get stopped out, which isn't what you want. But yeah, but that's it for now. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And peace.